What?
What the?
We have to make a video.
Oh my God! Right now. Stop. We have to record this whole.
GoPro, stop recording. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Exertion Sports here. We have a update video, I guess, coverage video about Andrew Luck and his retirement.
Yes. So last night the news came out in regards to him retiring. We did a video update on that breaking news. So we've actually kind of been watched everything, kind of analyzed what's happened with this to the press conference of Andrew Luck. So we're going to go through quite a few things and just kind of speak about Andrew Luck and the career that he's had, kind of what he spoke about in the video, and just kind of what's been going on in his life. So
yeah, so by far, just to start out, this is absolutely the biggest story of the off-season / preseason time frame. We've been leading through with stories about Antonio Brown and Dak and Zeke and the Browns, but nothing quite this heavy.
Right. Coming from a guy that has the stature of Andrew Luck, he's a very respected guy. I make the joke about how, Cam's better than him, which, I mean, that's a debatable topic, but I won't get into that. But he's one of the most respected guys in the league. He's a good person overall. He's had a great career. I mean, just in front of us, 53 wins. He's only lost 33. He's got a winning record. He's been to the playoffs numerous times.
4-time Pro Bowl. And also in the press conference we just watched, I believe they said in 4 seasons he had over 4,000 passing yards.
Which is, if you know, that's unbelievable. To keep doing that. I mean, he was in the playoffs the first 3 years he was there. Of course, ever since he started having some of the issues. And you can go over those if you like, of the issues he's had. He's had a lot of those. But after that, he started to go downhill. But he still was able to even win the Comeback Player of the Year last year.
Yeah, he's able to win Comeback Player of the Year. You know, he was #1 draft pick in the 2012 draft, and really he was poised to be the next best thing to Peyton Manning, leaving out, from his injury and then eventually going to the Broncos. So
he was drafted as that replacement. Yeah. So,
Andrew Luck here retiring at only 29 years old. You know that's probably weighing on him pretty hard. In the press conference we watched, he seemed very emotional. The news broke right as they were playing against the Bears. He was on the sideline, and there are some videos that have surfaced of the fans there actually booing him off the field. And the only thing he could say is, he's not going to lie, that hurt.
Yeah, that's regardless. I know the situation. So, coming from a Colts fan, this is speaking strictly to you right now. I understand you're hurt. This is your franchise quarterback. This is the man that you expected to be there to lead you guys for years and years to come. And he is a young quarterback, but you have to understand he's at a point where he can't proceed.
It's a breaking point,
It is. I mean, he spoke and he said, he's mentally, he's physically exhausted from all of the injuries and such. More recently with the calf and the ankle, he had the shoulder where he missed a whole year, but he said he's mentally exhausted as well.
I mean, we can just go through a list here. I've got some notes down of his different injuries, because he is a bit injury prone, whether that's been bad luck or what have you.
Yeah.
But, of course, most recently, he's had the lingering calf / high ankle issues. But if we just go back, he's torn cartilage in 2 of his ribs. He's partially torn his abdomen. He's had at least 1 concussion, if not more. And I'm sure he's had more. He's lacerated his kidney, causing blood in his urine.
Yeah.
He has a torn labrum, and I may be pronouncing that wrong, but it basically messed up his throwing shoulder. That's something you don't want happening. I'm sure Cam could relate to having shoulder injury problems.
Yeah, this one's even more serious. I mean, you basically have to relearn how to throw. Because it's and he took a whole season off to get better. And I get it from both sides, Andrew Luck and the Colts, because, in the Colts' perspective, they have done a lot to set up this man for success. They've been there for him. They're we've done everything we can for you, and then you retire. I mean, he's 29 years old. Nobody retires really at that old. The only ones who are out of the league at that age usually are unsuccessful quarterbacks. Now, someone with the resume and the how well that he's done doesn't retire at that age.
No.
I mean, look, Brady's 42. I'm not saying that he's been kind of lucky in regards to not as many injuries. But even a quarterback that's been quote unquote kind of injury prone, they last longer.
Yeah,
than
absolutely.
that. Like even if you look at like
Tony Romo.
Oh yeah.
There you go, right
in
there.
his 30s, yeah.
Tony Romo was injury after injury after injury. I'm a Dallas fan. You guys know that. And he still came back and came back and came back.
And I mean, this is a 4-time Pro Bowler, and it hurt me because like I feel for him, and like he was crying.
You could tell
it was tearing him apart because it was like he wanted to play, but for his health and mentally going forward, he just didn't want to do it. You could tell he's just frustrated with the way that it's been his career, everything that's happened to him. It's just, and I mean, this is going to be talked about for a long time.
Yeah, and he even said in the interview, he's upset because he's not going to get to live the life that he envisions for himself.
Yeah,
I mean, this is just getting started as far as the Colts, and they are, from what he said, we assume that they already have a starter for moving forward.
Yes. Jacoby Brissette. He's played for them before. He he would come in last year when they had a Hail Mary last second. They would actually bring him in because he could throw farther than Luck just because of his previous issues with the shoulder. So Jacob Brissette, he's a solid quarterback. He's not necessarily one of your all-star quarterbacks. I think that the Colts will have. They're not going in completely like lost. Like you're in a better quarterback situation than like the Bills or some of the teams. Like you have a guy that has some experience. I mean, he played with Belichick in the Patriots. That's where he played originally, and then now he plays for the Colts. So I mean, he's had a great mentoring throughout his whole career, even though he's not started as many. But Jacob Brissette's going to work out for you guys, I think. I don't think he's going to play as well as Luck, but I think that he'll be a solid one. Now, whether or not they go and get a quarterback in the future, it looks like they may have to.
I would say so.
Depending on Brissette's
performance here. We'll see how he does, moving forward. The regular season coming up very soon. So I am very interested to see how the Indianapolis Colts recover from this because, we've been talking a lot about doing predictions and things of that nature for games and what have you, and the Colts were up there for me. I mean, they were a team that I was definitely saying would have a good year.
Well, and I think we even talked about this in a matchup, one of the Monday Major matchups. We were talking about I was looking forward to seeing how the Texans and the Colts play. So I wanted to see how Deshaun would be tested against a Colts team led by Andrew Luck. But unfortunately, that's the case. We touched on him getting hurt earlier this year.
Yeah.
At some point, I'm not sure if it was a breaking news or just a regular news video, but excuse me. This is huge. This is like, if you can tell by the breaking news video, we were just in panic. Like once we had just finished one video, and we were both looking at my phone because I can't remember what was it. We was looking at the camera angle or something.
Yeah, we weren't technically finished. We still had a little bit left of the video to record, and we pulled the phone up for some information because we can, see the camera from the phone. So we used that as our playback to make sure everything's good.
Yeah.
And it popped up on the screen, and we immediately jumped to record and make that video.
We were like, oh my gosh, that I said was maybe 5 seconds after. We were like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, that was a stomach-dropping moment.
It did. I mean, he's one of the top quarterbacks in the league. I mean, and just a comeback player, it's just crazy. I'm still like, I'm baffled. I don't know where this is going to go. I mean, it's crazy to think he's gone. He's very hurt. He's young. I mean, he's still, okay, it's September 12th, he turns 30, but he's still in his 20s. I mean,
these days, 30's not that old anyways.
No, not at all. I mean, I expect a quarterback to start thinking about retirement about 35. Unless, like, they had a bad injury over and over, but, like...
Or they're Tom Brady.
He's shooting for 50. But, no, but with Luck, it's just, oh, my gosh. And just, like, looking at the list like we have here with all the injuries he's had, it's just beyond crazy. I mean... he's missed 26 games along his career. I don't think we touched on that either. Like, he's missed a lot of games, and it's just, wow.
Games he couldn't help, and that's not even all of it, because he talked about playing through some of these injuries. So he could have missed more games. I mean, a lot of people are, in the mindset probably of being down on him because he's, quitting young. He's had some injuries. But you have to understand, from what I can tell from his reactions, his statements, and what we've got here in front of us, this man has been in pain for years.
Yeah.
And that takes its toll no matter what.
And I felt bad because he said that he had been talking about it for a couple of weeks before, because someone asked, we did listen to the questions as well. Someone asked, was like, oh, did you just decide this morning? And I thought that was the stupid question, because you don't just like, oh yeah, I'm retiring today.
It's a little bit insensitive as well, insensitive, excuse me. You can tell that he was tore up at this point when they asked the question already. And no, you don't just come in the league and be like, well, I'm retiring today.
Because previously, to be honest, I'm disgusted with the Indianapolis Colts fans. The way that they acted. Because it was like, he was talking, he was like, Andrew Luck is one of the greatest guys that's ever played in the NFL in regards to his just demeanor and how nice of a person he is. And you booed him off. He was talking about how, it was in his mindset. He was excited to be, this was his last game where he would get to play and be in Lucas Oil Stadium and get to play in front of the fans and stuff like that. And the memory that he'll always think of is walking out getting booed. And I don't know if you've seen the videos or anything like that. I could actually probably cut one of those in. They're not copyright.
Yeah.
I'll play that for you, just a couple seconds of it. But there you see, they're awful to him. I mean, no respect for him. And that's the last memory he's going to think about for the rest of his life.
And then he turned right around, went into the locker room, and told everyone how much he loved them. How much he loved that city. How much he loved playing there. How much that was his home. And he would want nothing more than to be there.
He wasn't going to talk about it tonight. He was forced into it because it was such a big thing. That was because he went in, and the original thing was that, and you can still tune in this tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Today, sorry, one of the videos coming up. Today is Sunday, August the 25th. He's going to have a press conference at 3 o'clock p.m. He's going to go in more depth, answer some more questions and stuff like that. But that was originally when he was going to talk about it. But it broke, and I mean, it was broke everywhere.
I mean, he was in there. He had just come off the field in his, T-shirt, and he even said, I'm not looking my best right now. So you can tell that they just pushed him in that room. And
I don't even think he had told his parents. It's what's awful is he didn't even have the chance to tell the closest people. They learned from the news.
Yeah,
it broke.
He said he's going to have those conversations tonight.
So I'm wondering who had that. He's going to go and talk to the people. Who broke the information? Who came out and said that? I mean, Adam Schefter reported it, but who told Adam Schefter? And there was another guy that reported as well through NFL. But all this information, it's just awful. That you're put in this situation, and I feel sorry for him. I mean, best of luck for him going forward, no pun intended. But and people are already asking him oh, are you going into coaching? Oh, are you going to do this?
Are you going to come back?
And I've seen that we talked about the conspiracy theory. Oh, he's doing this to go to play in the XFL. These are disgusting. This man feels awful. He's a great guy. I don't expect him to do this.
He's in pain. You can see his conviction. You can see. I don't know about you, but when you look in his eyes when he was talking, it looked like he felt like he was letting some people down. You know what I mean? And he just kept looking at those guys and saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. I say class act. I completely understand, and I wish you the best of luck, Andrew.
Yeah, I hope he has a great life. I hope that he's able to get right. I know that his body has been kind of against him for years, so I'm really hoping that everything works out for him and his family.
Absolutely.
Because it's a tough situation anyway, and just unfortunately the way that the fans have handled it's made it worse. But much respect to him and the way that he's handled himself, and he's able to, I mean, he got choked up, but he even handled himself well. But deepest condolences to him and his family for everything that's went through there.
Yeah, so guys, that about does it. That covers really all of our points here. We'd like to have an open discussion in the comment section down below this video.
Yeah.
Let's try to keep it peaceful. let's let's not bring more of this negativity towards Andrew Luck.
Yeah.
But definitely a discussion. We want to hear what you guys think about it. How did you feel whenever you heard about it? What kind of reaction did you have? We'll try to get in there and reply to those comments and talk to you guys. Yeah, we definitely want to thank you for tuning in. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the video and give it a thumbs up. We really appreciate that. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when more stories break. We have breaking news all the time, just like this one here when we covered it.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate you watching.